Yo, what's up guys, it's P9 back at it again with another video, and in today's video I got 150 upcoming features in Unturned for you. Just to clarify this, those features were either teased, mentioned or confirmed by Smartly Dressed Gaming, which is Nelson himself, and I got a list of 150 of those features for you guys. So in the last video I gave away a mythical and it was the Glitch Joel t-shirt, and this is the winner of this mythical. Congratulations to you. Make sure to reply to my message, and if you guys want to win this mythical in this video, then comment down below with what feature you hyped about the most, and subscribe to my channel. I put much effort into this video, so I would appreciate a like, and if you aren't a sub already, then make sure to subscribe, cause I saw like 40% of all my viewers aren't even sub to me, which is just crazy to think of. But without further ado, let's get straight into the video. I hope you guys enjoy it. Let's go. A gun named the Eaglefire based on the M4A1. Shotguns will likely use a circular crosshair. Gameplay varying seasons and different degrees of weather in each season. Snow buildup and the water dripping down the surface. Harvesting plants to create dyes for your clothes and potentially paints too. Bullet penetration will be handled differently by each ammunition type, potentially being able to play as an animal when joining a server. What the f? 5.56mm tracer ammunition. Manually choosing the orders of bullets in a magazine. Inserting batteries into flashlights. Looting through clothing rather than on a player's corpse. Inspecting a surrendered player's inventory. Swimming and sprinting while swimming. Basic Horde survival mode, or also called Horde mode, available for the initial beta launch. Increase gun rarity by splitting up parts. Different receiver models for different tiers with various firing modes, rates of fires and so on. For example, the semi-automatic Eaglefire variant and the more rare Eaglefire receiver, which also has an automatic fire mode. Some parts can potentially require maintenance. Using the new attachment system for putting batteries into flashlights, bait onto a fishing rod hook, or fuel into a chainsaw. Holstered item feature extended to show pistols in a hip holster, magazines in a chest rig, or a sleeping bag on top of the backpack. The adrenaline boosts the movement speed. Possibly name some roads after community members. Destructible objects. Possibly scavenging for dirty water from bathrooms. Garage bay names matching the available vehicle types. A map select screen. Quick small test levels like shooting range and a demo level for all the props. Increased modding potential. External forces possibly have an influence on the player, such as from explosions. Lightning possibly disables electronics such as a car battery. Consuming food and portions. Possibly a choice over how the player reloads, with a shorter reload by throwing away the magazine and a longer reload by putting it back in the player's inventory, which basically means you have to choose from two options. Either you drop it on the ground or you just put it back in your inventory, which will lead to a longer reload time. Adjustable variable zoom and magnifiers that can be toggled on or off. Firing for electrical objects. Fires require a fuel source. Different clothing items giving you different statical attributes boosts beyond just armor multipliers, such as quickened reload speed or backward swimming speed. Unturned possibly being named into Unturned 2 or Unturned 4 on Steam. Zeroing scopes. Realistic scope distances. Scopes might use primitive line drawing rather than images for reticles to ensure pixel accuracy. Possibly armor slots for armor plating that has durability. Possibly infrared scopes and goggles. Possibly AI bandits, which is another word for bots. Lobbying with other players to get all into a server together. All bullets are affected by proper gravity, with different bullet drop being the result of different muzzle velocity. Support for casual community created game modes, such like deathmatch. Finally, thanks Nelson. In general, guns will be larger in inventory size, some storages will be smaller in space and some bags bigger, and some storages will be exclusive item types, for example like handguns for a pistol holster or arrows for a quiver. Nested storage containers. Props can store items and spawn with items. Steam is no longer required, instead of being optional as a way to use lobbies, gain authentication into official servers and so on. Increased activity in farming, possibly game mechanics that involve water plants, such as through piping, sprinklers or building automated watering systems. Possibly a way to create custom designs on vehicles from a selection of stencils when applying paints. Possibly various doors and locks. All buildings spawn with doors. The automatic placement of roof details like vents and the window frames. A damage drop-off graph. Smaller subdivisions for storage. Reloading using items in vest slots. Decals for impacts on different surface types. The engine upgrade to Unreal 4.19. a G19 gun, which is based off the Glock, dual wielding. Different modes when using a one-handed gun with or without another one-handed gun. Controller support with possibly a virtual cursor for controllers and a basic aim assist. Pain flashes and first-person flinching after taking damage. Muzzled smoke trails. Graphics more similar to Firewatch and The Witness. Possibly a full story mode with support for custom story campaigns. Matchmaking into official servers. Administrative permissions group and per user permission rules. Extensive server logging. Automatically save and restart the server. Turn the single player world into a LAN server. Download the dedicated server files through Steam CMD. 4-wheeled cars and trucks. 2-wheeled motorcycles, watercraft, airplanes, helicopters, trains, stamina-powered vehicles such as bicycles, animal-based mounts such as horses, unpowered trails, parachutes, gliders. Engines and propellers continue running after exit. Connect vehicles together, such as a semi to a trailer. Audio for when shifting gears. Tire squeals. Dirt, mud and grass kicked up. Exhaust effect. Glass in the windows of vehicles. Tank tracks move with the wheels. Open and close the doors on vehicles. A proper hitbox for shooting out tires. Store item in trunk space. Critical hit areas such as the engine. Realistic scope indicators, realistic weapon ranges approximately 500 meters upwards with damage fall off. Currently I think it's 300, for example for the Timberwolf and the Grizzly, but he is planning on making it more realistic. Different crosshairs for different weapon types. Ammunition comes by caliber and then loaded into and out of magazines themselves. Reload individual shells, various shotgun shell types such as birdshot, buckshot and slugs. Separate attachment points for front and rear sights. Multiple sight attachments at the same time. Canted iron sights. Bash with the gun stock or use the bayonet. Unique recoil patterns with an additional but slight randomized element on top. Block physical attacks. Hold the attack button to charge a stronger swing with a variety of animations. Different effects for different weapon types. Sharp melees cause bleeding and blunt melees stun. Volume sweeps rather than hit scan for melee weapons. Chainsaws, flashlights and blowtorches all use fuel or batteries. Additional uses for melee, such as a socket branch weapon that also remove bolts or a crowbar that can also open crates. Molotov cocktails, flamethrowers, catch on fire and burn until having rolled around for a while or having been submerged. Use items while driving, throwing strength affecting distance, pulling the pin and cooking a grenade. A preview of the travel path of items if they were to be thrown. Optional dismemberment during melee combats. Optional blood trails from bleeding entities. Less gigantic lists in the inventory, instead optioning the place stacked items in relations to one another. Quick context actions for scrapping items. Equip attachments to the gun from the inventory. Crafting queue and time to craft. Machinery needs to craft certain things such as a furnace, anvil or workbench. Sharpen bladed weapons. Create lower quality makeshift bullets of each caliber. Boil water to purify it. Guns and other items rigged with a matrix for animation. Player respawning, spectating and ragdolls. Crafted 556mm bullets with poor armor penetration, military grade 556mm bullets with decent armor penetration, and full metal jacket 556mm bullets with high armor penetration. Few infos to the first online multiplayer test. It's going to be available as a separate download rather than a beta branch. Free and without any microtransactions aside from a purchasable premium pass to join official servers, aka the gold pass. Modding tools available upon release of the beta as a download through the Epic Games launcher, containing all of the Unturned projects, files and assets. Trello page with information on what still needs to be done, what is wanted to be done soon after the beta launch, and what will be done over the months following the initial beta launch. A simple Pine Ridge map. More official modding documentation. Modding has a support for blueprints and visual scripting, and it also supports for C++ with opened up C++ source code available from the Epic Games launcher. Possibly creating game mechanics based on the different parts of human diets. Possibly adding a battering ram for knocking down doors. There's going to be backpacks, belts, bracelets, glasses, gloves, hats, masks and necklaces, overcoats, pants, shirts, shoes, slings and vests. Last but not least, Unturned 4 will have me, so you better get in your base and prepare, because I'm coming to raid your base.